keep watching if you want to know exactly how I got an A star on my chemistry A-levels. This is the second episode of the Ace Your A-Level series, and today's episode is all about chemistry. No generic advice, but specific, in-depth advice that actually works. Okay, beginner's advice if you're just starting off your chemistry A-level, which is you must be able to name your salts. For example, if you're given a molecular formula, you must be able to name it, and if you're given a name, you must be able to write down its molecular formula. For instance, we know that magnesium chloride is MgCl2, while sodium chloride is NaCl. Not only that, but you also need to know the charges and molecular formula of polyatomic ions. For example, we know carbonates, CO3, has a charge of -2, while phosphates have a charge of -3. And why am I telling you this specifically? It's because colleges expect you to know them from before, and they do not spend much time diving into the basics of chemistry in details. The second tip is make a list of the general rulings of salts. Which salts are insoluble, which salts are soluble, and if there's any exceptions or not. For example, we know for a fact that group 1 salts are all soluble with no exceptions. And it's also very important for you to know the colors of the insoluble salts. This is especially important in questions where they ask you to state the observations of a reaction. For example, the reaction of copper sulfate with sodium hydroxide. There is no way you could say that a blue precipitate of copper hydroxide forms if you did not know the solubility and the color of copper hydroxide. Comment salt if you want my personal list of the general rulings. This tip is for the second year students. So in the topic transition metals, you'll have to memorize a lot of different colors. And the exam board publishes a list of colors to memorize. So instead of using random Google searches on ChatGPT, use that list. It's gonna save you time. Another tip that I've given before as well, which is while taking your chemistry notes, keep the specification open so that you know exactly what the exam board wants you to know. Mechanisms are a huge part of organic chemistry, and usually in mark schemes there are guidance on where to exactly put the arrows and the lone pairs. So use that as a tool, because if you don't put them exactly where they want it, you might lose the marks. After learning all types of mechanisms, note them down together so that you can see the differences and they do not get mixed in your head. The next tip is for redox reactions. After balancing the atoms, always check the charges. If the charges on the left-hand side and the right-hand side match, then you know you have done the balancing correctly. Okay, I have way more chemistry advice, so I'll have to make a part 2 of this video, but do drop a comment or drop me a text if you want free study advice or tutoring.